Film theory, how to make the right wish. By the film Theorists.
The One Wish Willow. Well, we looked at it.
I think that might be a trick question. I think the best wish to make with the One Wish Willow is no wish. What you want to do is stay far. You want to stay far away from all that mythological, that ultra spiritual, that ultra. I'm saying forces in a realm that we don't understand, and I'm saying we're not meant to be diving in. You want to stay far away from that. I think that's how you make the right wish in this situation.
From every angle, loyal theorists, and I am just obsessed with this answer. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the show that asks you to choose between the man and the bear. No, not that bear. This bear. You know what? I think I'd rather just choose the subscribe button at this point. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about a little movie that's just come out that the entire world seems obsessed with. I am, of course, talking about Obsession, directed by the up-and-coming filmmaker Curry Barker.
I still don't know what it is about this movie. Like it's literally surpassed just being this is going to be a movie that, you know what I'm saying, our generation, you know what I'm saying, when we get old and we're in the fucking nursing homes and shit, we're going to talk about, remember that movie that came out in 2026 called Obsession that had everybody and their mom in a fucking chokehold? You know what I'm saying? Like this movie is like literally a cultural phenomenon, and mainly because not even for the horror aspect. Yes, some people think it's scary. I don't even think it's one of the scarier movies that I've seen. Like, it's just the simple fact that the underlying themes and the underlying messages and how relatable the film is, how it ropes you in, it gets you engaged with all the characters, and you don't even hear from a lot of the characters in the movie, but it gets you engaged with all of them. It does a very good job at that, and then it just fucking dumps you on your head. So I think that's what makes this movie so special.
Barker, who actually has his origins on the YouTube sketch comedy channel That's a Bad Idea.
She's getting robbed! And I'm watching her get robbed, okay? I'm doing my thing.
He's also popped up in other skits around YouTube and was even in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Just need you to sign these waivers. I'm not really supposed to let you in unless you sign this.
So that means that this is yet another massive hit from a YouTube creator who was passionate about their work.
And I just want to say too, like, I feel so bad for Curry Barker, not in a sense that like obviously he did something tremendous with this movie, you know what I'm saying? He did something that's literally in the history. It's going to be in the history books forever until the next movie that comes out passes it, which is probably going to be some time. But I feel bad because when you do something this great on it was like a $750K budget, you know what I'm saying? For your first project, now he's going to have so many people that are going to be expecting things of this quality, and as the budgets get bigger, as the productions get bigger, the people that he casts in his movies become more household names. I hope he doesn't go that route. You know what I'm saying? Stay with not the amateurs, but like the people that, I'm saying, that love the work, and not just like our household names that just show up and think that their face demands fucking butts and seats in the theaters. No. But he's going to have so many people expecting just tremendous films from him. Like, this nigga can't flop. Like, essentially, a flop is going to come. That's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to happen. But when you start off this great, this is going to be one of the hardest things to follow up on. Like, one of the hardest things. It's like fucking, imagine your first film was the Titanic. What the fuck do you make after that? What do you make after that?
It's almost like you should let creative people do creative stuff, huh? Who am I kidding? Hollywood's gonna learn the wrong lesson out of this. To say Obsession has been a hit is an understatement. The film cost less than $1 million to make, and as of the time of writing, is over $300 million worldwide. Movies don't normally make more money each weekend than the last, and Obsession did that for several weeks. No film since E.T. the Extraterrestrial went up 3 weeks in a row, putting Barker in some good company. And Spielberg even gave the movie a huge shout out.
I have seen Obsession and I loved it.
Listen, I don't need to keep glazing this movie, just go see it. And congrats to Curry and everyone else involved for making a movie that's really struck a chord with folks. Just like Kane, you guys have a bright future ahead of you. But okay, what actually is this movie about? Obsession follows Bear, an awkward dude who has a huge crush on one of his best friends, Nikki. But Bear isn't exactly the best at expressing his feelings, or talking, or like anything really. He's kind of a loser.
Exactly. He's your typical 2026 fucking male. And I don't care what nobody says. I will die on this hill alone. Just me by myself. Bury me. I don't care. But I'm sick and tired of people going into this movie and leaving this movie thinking that this nigga Bear was just the most evil guy on the fucking face of the earth. Like, everything that he did in this movie was the intentions to just rob a girl of her autonomy. Now, yes, towards the end of the movie, does he become unredeemable? Yes. Yes, he becomes, okay, you're the nice guy trope. You're the nice guy example for if the nice guy was to get what he wanted and didn't know how to fucking take care of it, didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying, didn't know how to manage it, didn't know how to respect it, didn't know how to treat it. Yes, he becomes a bad guy, but a lot of people just literally fucking bag on the character, and they talk so much shit saying that, oh, he's bad, he's terrible, he's evil, he's this, that. Bro, he was never that. He's just your typically misunderstood guy who was unable to fucking voice his feelings. So you know what you do when you don't voice your feelings? You take out this little cheap ass plastic gimmick toy and you say some stupid shit that you regret. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what, like the story is deeper than good and bad, or good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? I just wish more people seen that.
After a failed attempt to confess his love for Nikki, Bear decides that he should at least try to do something to share his true feelings. So does he man up and have an adult conversation? Of course not. He takes the One Wish Willow, a novelty toy that's supposed to grant wishes, and uses it to wish for Nikki to, quote, love him more than anything in the world. Fantastic plan. That couldn't possibly go wrong. Cue it going catastrophically wrong. Yeah, Nikki does suddenly fall head over heels for Bear, but something's off. It's wrong. Nikki doesn't seem like herself at all and acts in disturbing ways.
No, don't do that! I thought we were having a nice day!
We are.
Bear becomes the center of Nikki's universe, to the point that sometimes she doesn't even move, not even to go to the bathroom if he's not around. And she becomes violently protective of their relationship, all while Nikki's original personality seems tragically buried under this new Nikki that's, well, obsessed. And it doesn't end well for anybody involved. So that got me thinking, if we were suddenly able to get a hold of a real One Wish Willow, well, what is this thing? How does this magic work? What should you wish for? What strategy should you take to get the best possible wish out of this thing?
I think in that situation, right? Like say we're Bear. In that situation, she literally asks you, even if you don't have the courage to, before the Willow, to just speak your mind and speak your piece and say what's in your heart. Again, I think the rational mind would come up with 1,000 things to wish for, as opposed to wishing that another person loved you more than anything in the world. In theory, when you say it out loud, that shit is very, 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 very selfish. It's very, very, very selfish. Now, which you should never wish on behalf of somebody else. In his sense, your wish should always start with you, or have something to do with you, pertaining to you. I wish I had the courage to tell her how I feel. I wish I could be honest. I wish I couldn't tell a lie. I wish I could confess my feelings. Like along those lines, I feel like it's not a hard thing to do to wish for. Now, if it's hard to talk about how you feel, I get it. I understand. People struggle with that every day. But at the same time, literally just wish for the ability to say how you feel. Wish for the ability I wish to express my love for Nikki. You know what I'm saying? For this person. You know what I'm saying? That's what you wish for. You don't wish for somebody to be head over heels over you, or wish them to love you, or wish them to like you back as much as you like them. because ultimately what it reveals in the end that this nigga never even really loved her in the first place. You know what I'm saying? We see that in the end when the wish Nikki fucking wished for reciprocation. That's all she wished for. And then you get to see this is what it's like for love to be reciprocated. That nigga Bear never loved that girl. He loved the idea of her, and that's what a lot of people, not just men, but that's what a lot of people are, you know what I'm saying? Especially in this time period, that's where a lot of people are. They're not, they don't really love people as much as they think they do. They're just in love with the idea of being with the person, because before you even get to know them, you see them, you're attracted to them, and you have this idea of them in your mind. You don't really know them. So the moment you get to know them, that's when you decide and figure out if you truly like them or truly love them or not.
And maybe more importantly, what should you avoid wishing for and why? I've been obsessing over this movie trying to get the answer, loyal theorists, and today I want to get to the bottom of it. So pull out that Jenga block and snap that one wish willow, friends. We're going in. All right, if we want to figure out how to make the best wish here, we should first see if we can pin down exactly what's going on here in the story of the film. Like, how and why does Nikki go off the rails here? After we identify that, we can then figure out how to best craft our wish. And, well, hey, we actually might already have the answer to what's going on thanks to a popular fan theory about obsession that's been floating around. And that theory is that Nikki is actually being possessed by the ghost of Bear's dead cat, Sandy. Yeah, if you've been plugged into the discussion about this movie at all in the theory space, you've probably seen this.
I've seen this theory, and I personally think it's retarded. Like, personally, I don't think the cat was ever that big of a deal, other than to introduce the fact that it died by the pills that will come into play later in the movie. And I say that with the evidence of literally in the first beginning scenes when he made the wish on Nikki, and then she was like, I did just lose my cat, Bear, or whatever. And then she started to remember, oh no, you just lost your cat. And then she was like, are you okay? I'm so sorry. And she was like, and he was literally like, am I upset like about the cat? He didn't say, oh, Sandy. He didn't say, oh, my cat that I was crying over. That nigga was genuine. He was genuinely like so confused. Like, you're so like, you're this upset and you want me to come inside for drinks over the cat? That's literally how he phrased it. He said the cat. And you can literally see the look on his face that cat ain't really mean shit to him. You know what I'm saying? It's upset whenever an animal dies in your life, you're going to be upset about it, especially if it could have been one of the last remaining things from his grandmom that, like, but at the same time, that nigga was not stressing that cat. So for them to say Nikki was possessed by Bear's cat, this one was kind of a stretch to me. It was a stretch.
So we kind of had to talk about it. That's a cool idea and would be a fun twist for this movie, but does that hold any merit, and can it help us find the best possible wish? So here's my mini trash take on that cool idea to find out.
Leave your theories in the comments or subreddit. I'll pick my favorite in the next episode
Of the film after ingesting oxycodone. Bear is clearly uncomfortable with death, it's kind of a recurring theme for the character, and puts the cat's remains in a trash bag, not giving her a proper burial, which, man, having lost a couple of childhood cats in the past year, bro, come on. Have some respect and decency. R.I.P. Virgil and Belle, y'all were wonderful little kitties who lived long, happy lives. Miss y'all. Anyway, when Bear uses the One Wish Willow to make Nikki, quote, love him more than anything else in the world, that made several theorists online think, well, what loves someone more than their cat? Maybe the One Wish Willow somehow attached Sandy's spirit to Nikki. But that thought was just the start of the evidence. First off, Nikki does demonstrate some vaguely cat-like behavior. She stands in the corner at night, watching Bear sleep like cats are known to do. She moves in a way that looks strange for a person, but might make more sense for a feline. She waits at the door all day for Bear to return, going as far as to relieve herself on the carpet, both things that cats can be known to do. And
man, these cats are not waiting for you. If you genuinely think that the moment you walk out your door and your cat is like, no, nigga, you ever seen Secret Life of Pets? Have you, like, clearly y'all never seen Secret Life of Pets. Go tap in and learn about your animals and how much they care about you and what they do when you're not home.
it also looks like she ate a bug and some cat food while he was gone, which just Man, that's gross. Plus, throughout the movie, Nikki seems transfixed on Sandy's body. She makes a shrine for the cat and turns her remains into a sandwich for Bear, leaving him a note on a Polaroid selfie reading, "It's not me," potentially hinting that the cat has taken over. Now, this is a really fun idea, but when you look at it, it just doesn't hold as much weight as you might think. Firstly, Curry Barker has repeatedly said that Obsession isn't a movie about possession. He said, quote, "We were very specific. I didn't ever want her to play possessed. We didn't want it to feel demon-possessed. We wanted it to feel like a realistic situation. She's not possessed by a demon, she's almost possessed by her own desires and wants." Plus, the actress playing Nikki was asked about this theory and mentioned that she only heard it after the movie came out. So both the director and the actress playing the character didn't go in with this in mind. All of those cat-like movements and actions were just coincidental at best. Turns out that cats can just be creepy little predators, so acting creepy and being a predator might just make you act like a cat. And secondly, again, coming from someone who's had cats for basically my entire life, I just don't personally see the acting like a cat part of it as much as other people. Yes, cats can be loving and sweet and clingy and affectionate. They can get sad when you leave the house, or even if you just close the door, longing to be with you. But I've never had a cat that would just refuse to move if I left, enough so that they'd use the bathroom on the floor. And the way Nikki is basically glued to Bear just doesn't read cat to me. These are the same animals that, if they're cuddling with you and you move like a millimeter to readjust and get comfortable, they get up and walk away because you ruined everything, dumb.
Like literally, like cats are some of the most independent. Like if cats aren't the most independent fucking animal, they're probably top 5. And literally, Nikki's, after the wish, her character is solely built on the codependence on a relationship with Bear. She's literally doing whatever she can, whether that's taking people out, you know what I'm saying, her beating herself up. She's doing anything she can to be with Bear, to have Bear love her, or to stay in this romantic connection with Bear, because that's what he wished for. And that's just the strength of the desires of the wish that's keeping her in that state, not no fucking animal.
So, while I do believe that Bear's relationship with Sandy is symbolic of how he treats Nikki, he was their undying love, but doesn't reciprocate or put any effort into their well-being, enough so that the cat dies under his care, I just don't believe that we can say that this possession angle is what's going on here, so we can't use it for this theory. Okay, if that idea was a bit of a dud for our purposes here, let's take a step back and examine how the wish was made here at all. And that would be all because of this thing, the One Wish Willow. So yeah, okay, what the heck is this thing, and can we use that knowledge to help us at all here? Just on the face of things, this looks like a stick that they're selling in a box at a mystical supply shop, which was a real place, by the way. It's a store called The Green Man in Burbank, California, which I actually got a chance to visit recently. And yes, they did sell all the same witchy stuff as in the movie, so neat. Just on the face of things, the fact that this magic MacGuffin was found in this sort of mysticism shop is significant because it seems like this sort of magic is real in this universe. And this isn't even the only example of it in this movie. At the beginning of the film, before Bear makes the cursed wish, Nikki talks about losing her crystal necklace. That's actually what causes Bear to go into the mysticism store and kick off the whole plot. He was basically looking for a gift for Nikki. Anyway, in magic tradition, people typically wear these sorts of crystal necklaces as a form of protection. And I mean, isn't it a fun coincidence then that the terrible events of this story start because Nikki loses that necklace and therefore that protection? But that's not the only crystal that Nikki mentions that she has. She also has a tiger's eye that's a family heirloom. This stone has a lot of meaning in crystal lore. It represents courage and protection and personal empowerment. So yeah, you know, very symbolic that she'd be handing that over to Bear and giving up that personal empowerment. Or hell, maybe it was like a cry for help from the real Nikki buried deep down, asking Bear to be brave and
that's literally one of the theories I saw too, where it was like the real Nikki, she doesn't know if Bear knows 100% at this point. Like, we know after we as the viewer, you know, but we don't know. Like, we never really see Nikki's point of view after the first 20 minutes of the movie with the real Nikki. So this literally could have been like her, you know what I'm saying, trying to make like a subtle jab towards Bear, like, I'm giving you the strength to be courageous, to see something is wrong, to try to fix whatever this is. I'm not sure if you're aware of what's going on. I don't know if you know, but the fact that I'm giving you this to give you strength, to give you courage, to give you like some oomph. I'm trying to put some oomph in you. You know what I'm saying? Fix this shit. Fix this. Like, I'm giving you the strength of my family, of my ancestors, a family gem that was passed down from generation to generation. I'm giving you this as a cry for help, nigga. Help me. That's what she's trying. That's what I took from that as well.
Fix this, but I'm getting off track. See, when Nikki hands over the tiger's eye, that's when things start to go off the rails. Before this moment, she was at least acting like Bear's perfect girlfriend, but after she gives up the tiger's eye, she becomes increasingly erratic and dangerous in her behavior, eventually leading to terrible consequences for the other characters in the movie. Every time Nikki lost one of the crystals protecting her, things got significantly worse for her. So it seems like within the world of obsession, these sorts of magics and their rules are real. They aren't just beliefs, they're not just theories, they're facts. Anyway, the stick part of the One Wish Willow is based on, you guessed it, the branches of a willow tree, with the woven shape based on petrified cactus skeletons. The production designers hoped that it would make people feel a little uneasy when they looked at it. Like, have you ever heard of the fear of clusters of small holes? It's called
Yeah, like that shit where you look at, when you take a fucking microscope and you look at a strawberry and it has all those little pores and shit. Ugh.
tryptophobia, and this thing definitely gives off that same vibe. They wanted it to have an aura of unsettling power just from looking at it. But here's the thing, throughout history, willows have also been surrounded by mysticism, again something that's real in this world. IRL, this was because it could be used in a lot of basic medicines. The Assyrians, Egyptians, and Greeks all used willow to treat pain, inflammation, and fever. Naturally, over time, people started associating this plant that made you feel better with religious ideas. Like, it must be magic, or the gods, soothing my pain. In the Odyssey, it said that Persephone, the wife of Hades, grew a grove of willows in the underworld, and Orpheus and his story were completely tied to the willow tree, which gave him outstanding poetic skill after touching a willow. It basically gave him the power to drop some bars, while also protecting him as he carried willow branches into the underworld. It's also associated with sadness and grief, earning it the nickname the mourning tree, probably because it just kind of looks really sad. And understandably, as time went on, that religious connotation and visual interpretation evolved into associations with witchcraft. Like, did you know that traditionally, a witch's broom is often made from a willow tree? Honestly, all of this kind of lines up with how we see the One Wish Willow portrayed in the film. It can be used for both good and evil. It can bring death and cause grief, or heal the sick and lessen your pain.
But I will say, in the context of this movie, and even the director, Curry Barker, he said he doesn't want you to think of the One Wish Willow as this evil, negative thing that can only bring about fucking gloom and disparity. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. The One Wish Willow is literally just simply a tool. It's simply just a thing that you can use, and what determines the goodness or badness of it is whatever you desire, whatever the person's intentions are. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just a tool. That's the same thing if you want to say guns. Like, people say guns are bad. No, the gun is just a tool. You know what I'm saying? Guns don't, you know what I'm saying, do any harm other than the person who's behind the handle and pulling the trigger. If y'all following that comparison. But that's what Curry Barker even said. So I want y'all to remember that. Even he said, like, the One Wish Willow or the willow trees and the history of it has such like a negative connotation because it supposedly witches use that shit to make their brooms. Yeah, I hear you. But in the sake of this universe, the One Wish Willow is simply just an object. It has no good or bad towards it. You know what I'm saying? The nigga Ian wished for $1 million. And he got $1 million. Now, did he die afterwards? Yeah, the dumbass went to the house with the crazy female, was going off. That's his fault. That has nothing to do with the wish. But at the same time, the wish itself is not negative or positive. It's just a stick that grants powers.
It just all depends on whose hands it falls into. So it seems like the twist of this magical lore here is that there is no twist. The One Wish Willow is magic, and it has roots, pun intended, in deep magical lore in a world where magic is real. That actually seems kind of surprisingly straightforward, but I still don't trust it. Bear's wish blows up in his face so badly and thoroughly that there has to be a way to protect yourself with your wish here. So what if we look at the One Wish Willow and its rules and see what we can learn here to avoid that. Though we've only really seen it in one movie so far, the One-Wish Willow is a carefully crafted wishing MacGuffin. Like, it has some specialized rules in this universe. You can only use it once, wishes can't be undone except if you die, or maybe if someone makes a wish that contradicts yours, only one wish per person, you can't manipulate time.
And I like how we don't even know if that works for sure. We don't know, because when he goes back to the store at the aftermath of everything that's already done, the guy said maybe, like, he's not telling you, he said maybe if, or like he's saying words that aren't like 100% guarantees. We don't know if you, what if that's not even a possibility? What if that is one of the rules hidden in the terms of service that none of us ever read? You know what I'm saying? You can't wish to have something undone. Like, what's done is done. You know what I'm saying? You can't undo the past or some shit like that. You can only make wishes that have nothing to do with a prior wish. Like, what if that's a thing? We don't know.
Resurrect anyone from the dead, become immortal, wish for more One-Wish Willows. Sounds a little bit like Aladdin, huh? Honestly, given the similarities, I wondered if the One-Wish Willow was somehow powered by genie magic or something closer to jinns, but it's not so. Curry Barker himself has said that the inspiration came from, wait, The Simpsons? Yes, really, The Simpsons. Here, check it.
There was an episode of The Simpsons, and it just happened to be the episode where Bart Simpson has like a monkey paw and is making wishes, and it's like wreaking havoc. And I just was like, oh wait, that actually could lend itself really well to this like obsession idea.
So perhaps that could give us a little bit more info about what's at work here. If you don't know, both this and that Simpsons episode were referencing the classic horror short story The Monkey's Paw, written by W.W. Jacobs all the way back in 1902. Here's the gist of it. A man named Sergeant Major Morris returns from serving in the army and brings home a mummified monkey's paw. A curse was put on the paw, making it so that it can grant 3 wishes, but each wish comes with dire consequences. Morris then gives the paw to his friends Mr. and Mrs. White, and after Mr. White wishes for 200 pounds to pay off what he owes on his house, the next day his son is killed in an accident. Mr. and Mrs. White are then given 200 pounds as compensation for the death. Devastated, Mrs. White wishes to have her son come back to life, only for his shambling corpse to come back and knock on the door. Yeah, this story is a classic, and you can probably get the whole theme of be careful what you wish for shining through here.
And exactly, right? And last thing I'll touch on, because I'm probably going to end the video here because it's long as shit, but I seen this theory of, they said if Sarah didn't die and Ian wasn't an asshole, if Sarah didn't die and Ian wasn't an asshole, Bear literally could have went to them and asked one of them to, because like they said, the one way we know for sure that the wish breaks or it goes away, or, you know what I'm saying, it does away with itself, is if the person who made the wish dies, or if the person who's under the wish dies. So in this sense, he could literally go to Sarah and Ian and have them both use their wishes, one for Bear to die and the other one to wish Bear back to life. You know what I'm saying? I wish Bear heart stop, and then after that, you know what I'm saying, the other person could wish Bear fucking just comes back to life or starts breathing again. But for that example that he literally just told you, that would fuck up the universe even worse. It would mess it up even worse, because you don't go wishing for dead people back. Like, once people die, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've never died, but I could only assume that your body and your spirit and all that is going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're transforming. You doing this. You doing that. You going here. You going there. Like, and then for you to bring another person back. Like, y'all niggas never seen Pet Sematary? You never seen movies like that where, you know what I'm saying, when people die and then you wish for them back, they never come back the same. For all we know, this nigga could be fucking 10 times worse than Nikki. For all we know. But I think this is what you wish for. You know what I'm saying? You wish for the balls, you wish for the courage, you wish for the cojones to tell that woman or tell that man how you feel. And if you don't have the balls to do that, if you don't have the, you know what I'm saying, the right words in mind to make a conscious wish and know what you're doing, gang, put the willow back in the box. Just put it back. It's your boy RushMoreRick. If you enjoyed the reaction video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We got more stuff to react to. I'll see y'all in the next video. We out of here. Peace.